Hello everyone. I'm just going to take a few moments to just explain. First of all, the video is being captured off of my laptop, not the greatest quality, so I apologize for that. But what I wanted to do is just do more than just a review of a Marlin 795. There's a lot of those on the web. This is trying to address some of the issues that, these are concerns I had when I was shopping for which 22 to get and so forth and everything else. But it's not just about reviewing it compared to a Ruger or the 1022 or maybe the Remington 597 or the Savage 60. I didn't really do that, except I didn't want to go with the Ruger 1022 because it's about $75 or $80 more for the rifle. I didn't really care about all the extras that you can do with the Ruger if you want to make it into an AR-15 and all that other jazz. I didn't really care about all that. I just wanted a good quality, inexpensive 22 rifle. So I opted to go with the Marlin 795, and so far it's been an excellent purchase. But the things I want to talk about really quick would be, in this review, are the fact that, the sound level that a 22 puts out into my area, and so forth. The next thing would be the magazines that come with it, the type of bullets that you can use. Just looking at my notes, so I keep this short for you. But anyway, so with that, the 795 was a great weapon. I paid $145 for it plus tax at my local gun dealer. It was cheaper than, say, even Kentucky Gun Company, and so forth. And I kept the business local. So anyway, I opted to go that route. With that, some of the things about this is that I have about 4 acres of land, and I can shoot into some hills out in the back in the woods behind my house. The thing about it is that when I shoot my AR-15 out there, it's very loud. The neighbors know you're shooting, and even though they know you're shooting into a hill and it's safe and all that, there's just the fear of, oh my gosh, a stray bullet going 200 yards and hitting my house or killing somebody. They just don't like hearing you shoot 30 rounds with an AR-15. It sounds like a cannon, as you probably know. So I opted, so let me get a 22 so I can teach my daughter to shoot and keep the noise level down. So what are some of the things about that? Well, one of them was I opted to go with the, at least initially, I'll try other bullets, but right now I started off with the standard velocity CCI bullet. If you can see that, it's a little grainy and so forth. Standard velocity, even though Marlin recommends only using a high velocity, not the hyper velocity they say, but the high velocity. And of course everybody knows, because it's a semi-automatic, will the standard velocity cycle the chamber? I put 200 rounds plus through it. My daughter has. Not a problem, cycled each and every one. So for anyone wondering, because the standard velocity CCI is about 1,080 feet per second, where this hyper velocities and so forth are higher, 1,200s and so forth. Sound barrier being 1,115, I think. So I didn't want to have that extra sound, so I thought, let me try these. Like I said, 200 rounds of these, every single one cycled, not a problem. Not once did it stay open and not recycle and so forth. So some of the other quick things to talk about would be the magazine right here for this is the Promag extended magazine. Some people are concerned, oh, there's not enough magazine choices. I bought 2 of these, $14 a piece. I forget exactly where, about 14 bucks. And this one here has no bullets in it and so forth. Clips, right in, beautifully, not a problem, comes right out and so forth. Some of the normally it comes right out, huh? But some of the things people are concerned about is, oh, will the bolt come forward? It's going to catch. I have had no problems whatsoever with the Promag magazine. They work beautifully. Some people say they're hard to load, to put the bullets in, that is. And but what I've done is I preloaded about 27, even though it only calls for 25. I put 27 bullets in. I let it sit for about 4 or 5 days before I actually used it. Maybe I put a little stretch on the spring to loosen it up. And actually, the second time after I used it, the second time I did it, they did go in easier. Actually, I did have a couple of quick stovepipes right off the bat because I forgot I had 27 bullets in there. I took out the 2 bullets, put it back in, boop, popped right into the chamber. So I think maybe you stick with the 25, even though maybe as it loosens I can go 27 or 28 rounds like some people have done. But once I did that, it was beautiful. It hasn't had a problem. The bolt has stayed open, which people have complained about, saying, oh, the bolt won't stay open with it. Well, I have 2 of them in both magazines, not a problem. The standard one that came with it, the nickel-plated 10-rounder, not a problem with that one either. Of course, that one works great. Some of the other things I wanted to talk about was on that noise level. It's about 1/5. If you can only imagine that of what an AR-15 sounds like. So to give you an example, I shot about 30 rounds. My wife was in the house, and it's late October in Rhode Island. She didn't hear a thing. My daughter was up in the room, didn't hear a thing. with the windows closed. Like I said, about 150 to 170 yards from my house, about 180 yards to my neighbor's house. But then I asked my wife to come out on the back deck, right outside the back door when I was out in the woods, and I shot it. And she said, well, I could hear it, but it sounded like somebody was just like taking a piece of wood and whacking a tree or something. She said it was like nothing. She said, so it was very, very quiet compared to the AR-15, which you can hear with the windows closed, you know, in my house and so forth. It is safe to shoot for where it's illegal to shoot in my town, but I have to, who wants to annoy the neighbors and make them worry about that? So anyway, with that, the other thing just a quick talk about was the scope I put on it. For a lot of people that are concerned about it, I mean, look, all the scopes are there. This was a cheap one. I found it on a similar one on Amazon for about 60 bucks or so, 55 plus shipping or something. I found this one on Amazon for 49. I made an offer. The guy took $45 for it, brand new. It is a Sniper brand scope, which I realize some people have never heard of. Well, I hadn't either, but I thought, you know, for $45, let me try it. And for anyone, oops, so you can see that right there, Sniper. And it is the 6x32 fixed, but it does have adjustable parallax on it. Has the 3 different colors if you care about anything like that. It took me about 25 to 30 rounds to zero it in, which is more than it normally takes me. I'm not quite sure why that was. Maybe normally I got my AR-15, you know, less than 9 bullets. It's not hard to do that. Some people have said, oh, this is going to be like just a cheaper version of the UTG, which I also have on my AR-15. I thought I would talk about that real quick. Oops, let me turn that box. And that's this one right here. It is the 9x32. It's an adjustable one. That's a good little scope. Some people are worried about it because it's in China and everything. Like I said, my AR-15 has had no problems with it. It's much heavier duty, the UTG, compared to the Sniper, but not by a lot. The body's not that much different. Some of the big difference between the UTG and the Sniper one is that the UTG has the little hex nut that you can re-zero it after you get your thing zeroed in, make 100 clicks, and you're all off. You can loosen the little nut and re-zero everything back. With this, I don't find a place to do that. I didn't see a place to do that. Maybe it's there. I haven't read it, so maybe I shouldn't even talk about that. But it worked well. It zeroed right in. Some of the only issues I would say with using a tactical style scope on a little rifle like this is the fact that it's shorter, from end to end and so forth. So therefore, the eye relief is tougher for my daughter. She really has to push herself in to the scope, to be able to see. And because she's only 5'2", even though this is a shorter rifle than the other 22s, it's only 37 inches and so forth. Where like a Ruger, I believe, is 40. A Remington is 40, I believe, or something. But the point being is that you have to get a little closer to the eye relief. But other than that, once you're in, it's great, very accurate. My daughter had never shot a gun before in her life, and she was plinking cans at 25 yards, just like that. First couple times, first couple of bullets, and so forth. Now I bought from the same guy, I bought a dovetail, 3/8 dovetail Picatinny rail. I put it on in reverse so I could get more depth toward the end of the stock and so forth. But other than that, it's great. I paid $10 for that Picatinny rail. I didn't want to I wanted this type of scope is what I wanted. And maybe I should have got another one. But with that, though, I've said a lot of things and so forth. I'm hoping I addressed some of the key points for people. If I've missed anything, go ahead and send a comment, and I'll certainly comment on that. I hope this has been helpful to people. But it's a great rifle. I mean, my gosh, for less than $200 with the scope, my gosh, you can't beat it. And don't be afraid of the standard velocity bullets. They work great in this. Now, maybe if you used a standard velocity from Remington, which we're all leery of, and some of these other ones, maybe not. But CCI is the top brand out there, the top 2 or 3 anyway. So, not a problem with those. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.